has done the unthinkable. It has introduced a machine for painless suicide. A coffin-like device made with a 3D printer. It can be transported to idyllic locations for people wanting to end their life. Assisted suicide with unselfish motives has been legal in the country since 1942. A total of 1,300 people ended their lives through such services in 2020 alone.
It's a sad day when our world has dropped to a point where we even need to address something like this. I'm Dave Glander with Reasons for Hope. I want to start by looking at a pattern that has begun. There are now 8 countries in Europe that have legalized some form of euthanasia or physician-assisted death. Netherlands is one of the most progressive of these countries, with a full allowance of physician-assisted death and full euthanasia. In the Netherlands, more than 2/3 of the requests come from terminally ill cancer patients. However, I've known many people who have fought that diagnosis and gone on to beat cancer altogether. My mom was just one example of someone who was given just 3 weeks to live, and yet she managed to beat her cancer for a year and a half, giving her and my whole family some of the most memorable moments of all time. What if in the moment of her anguish upon hearing the devastating news that she had cancer, that she was granted full physician's-assisted death? She would have been making a hasty decision in a moment of total panic. And again, I know a lot of people who are still alive today who were given the terminal diagnosis. Even my own dad, once we were told that he was past the point of no return, I immediately made the decision to put him on comfort care, where he was able to die a peaceful death, a dignified death, as he did as a dignified Vietnam veteran. But I want you to see something. The pattern of voluntary euthanasia in Netherlands quickly led to several cases of involuntary euthanasia. Inevitably, doctors and families were now making decisions to end the life of people whom they deemed unfit to live for various reasons, most of which had to do with some sort of mental deficiencies. Once this door is open where we as humans determine who is fit to live or die, when does that door open further? It appears we already have the answer in the Netherlands. In this mixed up world of down is up and left is right, the word discrimination will rear its ugly head, where people will say we are being unfair to allow some to commit suicide and not others. In this all-inclusive world, once that door has been opened, everyone should have the right to kill themselves. Deciding to end life is embracing the sentence of death, which runs counter to the Word of God. In Deuteronomy 30:19, we read, "I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life." When we choose death, we also choose to curse. And to think that man can play God when it comes to determining the end of one's life is to claim to know better than God himself. Ecclesiastes 8:8 says, God says this, "No man has the power over the day of death." And if there's any confusion as to what God says about this matter, Job clarifies this matter up in chapter 14, verse 5, where he says, "Since his days are determined and the number of his months is with you, and you have appointed his limits that he cannot pass." It's not up to man to decide whether to end one's life. May God bless every single one of us in this crazy and trying time. For Reasons for Hope, I'm Dave Glander. Until next time, stay bold.